All right, please. This honorable court is now in session. Please be seated. Good morning, everyone, and may it please the court. We are delighted that you are here today to celebrate with us. I'm Janine DeBoer. I'm the Director of Law, Alumni Relations and Development here at Duquesne, and we are so excited to have family and friends celebrate our newest alumni and lawyers. So huge congratulations to our new alumni and to all of you for your support of them. Before we go any further, we have a special guest here we have three special guests, but somebody who just dropped in, President Ken Gormley, would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Janine, Mr. Chief Justice, Madam Justice, all of our friends, and most importantly, all of you who will be admitted to the bar today. I wanted to be here. I think this is really my first event live back in the law school since COVID, but I really wanted to be here today. This is a very special occasion. When I was dean of this law school, one of the things that I worked on so hard, and John Murray, the chancellor, was the bar passage training and rate, because we train people here to be practicing lawyers. And we've worked very hard at it, and I have to say there was nothing better than getting the call from Dean Barton on that Friday, because I was on a Zoom with Chancellor Emeritus Mark Nordenberg of Pitt, the former Pitt Law School dean, and I said, Chancellor Nordenberg, I'm not going to say anything about the bar passage rates. I don't know if you saw them. I don't know if you saw how Duquesne did and where Pitt was. We're not going to talk about that. But I am slightly competitive, and it is really fabulous that you guys did so well, beat all of the competition across the state, coming in third. We are so proud of you and all of your fellow graduates who did so well. I know how much work goes into that. Sometimes I think your families know how much work goes into that. But we are very, very proud that once again, we have proven that Duquesne stands out as one of the great law schools, not just in this state, but in the United States. So great job, guys.
Thank you so much, President Gormley. It's now my privilege to introduce to you the 13th Dean of our law school, Dean April Barton, who has been with us since 2019. And prior to that, she was the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs at Villanova. And under her leadership, Duquesne Law continues to excel in bar passage as we are celebrating today. So, Dean Barton, I turn it over to you.
Well, this is certainly a joyous occasion, and I am absolutely delighted to stand here today and welcome all of you to our bar admissions ceremony. A very special welcome to Chief Justice Fair and Justice Donahue. We are so honored that you are both here with us to preside over our ceremony. Let's give them both a round of applause. And welcome to our graduates, and especially a welcome to your families and your loved ones. Today I'd like to just reflect upon for a moment and give thanks for the events and the people who made today possible. We think about the classes and the assignments that have challenged each of you. We think about the classmates who have supported you through times of struggle and celebrated with you through times of joy and accomplishment. The faculty and the staff who accompanied you along this journey, providing knowledge and inspiration and counsel. And the loved ones who have supported, endured, encouraged, and loved each of you along the way. And to each of you, our graduates, your dedication, your resilience, your hard work has paid off. That's so exciting. And I would be remiss, I especially want to take a moment to recognize our amazingly talented Professor Ashley London and our exciting team for helping you across the finish line. And I think you all know that today marks such an extraordinary achievement in your professional lives. Not only have you completed law school, but the most rigorous test of your professional lives is now behind you. How great does that feel? It just feels so wonderful. You are now a licensed member of the Pennsylvania Bar, and I want you all to understand the gravity and significance of this moment and really just sort of absorb it and take it in. And I also want you to keep in mind that being a member of the bar is a tremendous responsibility. So I ask that you go forth in courage of conviction, strength of character, and wisdom in discerning justice for our highest good. Bring your best self each and every day and bring out the best in everybody around you. I'm so very proud of all of you. You have no idea. So we're going to now start the formal part of our ceremony. Chief Justice Baer, may it please the court. At this time, I wish to move for the admission to the bar of the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania the following candidates who have satisfied all requirements for admission, including having satisfactorily completed the Pennsylvania bar exam. You need to borrow from me the name.
As I read your name, please stand. Kyle Baker McKee. Andrew Bird. Kara Brack. Nicholas Brady. Daniel Carr. Ellen Connolly. Alexandra Dalton. Samantha Dorn. Rosemary Fassett. Samuel Herod. Stanley Marciniak. Veronica Miklo. Morgan Miller. Madison Miranda. Emily Pepper. Darius Singleton. Paige Temeki. Analia Zamponia. Chief Justice Baer.
Congratulations to all of you. Can you raise your right hands for me? And you may either swear or affirm it as you choose. I do solemnly either swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Congratulations. Please sit down. We find it convenient to rehearse on stage. So. I like President Gormley Dean Barton, really mean it when I congratulate you. You probably do not appreciate this because you live in your world, but you really are the best and the brightest, the most motivated, the most persistent that we as society have to offer. If that were not so, you just would not be sitting here at the end of such a long road, beginning as many years ago when you started kindergarten and through 8th grade and through high school and through college, and here you are. You're the newest members of the Pennsylvania Bar. And that really, really is special. You earned it. You deserve it. And you know what's nice is that nobody can take it from you. You will have it until the day you die. So congratulations, way to go. To your parents, to your wives, to your husbands, to your grandparents. I've been in your shoes also. I have 2 sons, and I almost never talk without bragging on both of them. You'll just find as you get older, you'll do that with your kids. My younger son, who's not really the subject of today, is a lieutenant colonel in the United States Air Force. He's an Air Force pilot. And as we speak, he's at Incirlik Air Force Base in Adana, Turkey. His wife and 2 children are in Honolulu, Hawaii, which I know sounds like good duty, but they're there without him. That was his prior duty station. And so the Air Force allowed them to stay there. because his older son's in second grade, and he maintained continuity of school. He's been it was in the Middle East 11 times. He was part of the operation that took out Osama bin Laden, and we're very proud of him. And Justice Donahue, President Gormley, everybody got to see him because he surprised me. We did a post-COVID swearing in for me as Chief Justice, and he snuck in from Turkey to attend and to see his wife and kids who were coming. My older son, Ben, is actually who I wanted to talk about. He is, I think Ben is 40, 39 or 40. You reach a point where you just don't know anymore. He's a trial lawyer in Philadelphia. And I was in my real life, I was his father. I helped with applications for law school. I read the essays gently because I wanted them to be his work, but I didn't want something there that was going to disqualify him in some way. I waited for acceptance and rejection letters. I helped him, my whole office helped him study for final and helped him study when he was getting ready for moot court. We did moot court in the office with all my law clerks. And then I watched him wait for grades. I saw him as stressed as I've ever seen him waiting for the bar results. And yes, Mom and Dad, I paid all the bills. In fact, there was something wrong with the picture because I took care of the bills for both of my kids. Ben got married and he was paying the bills for his wife. I said, there is something wrong here. But he didn't ask me to pay those, fortunately. So congratulations to you. I appreciate how you've suffered along with your kids and again, wives and husbands. And I congratulate all of you, and you deserve it. And I'm not sure if they know it, although they're getting mature enough to know it, but they wouldn't be where they are without all of you. And you deserve great praise in your own rights for bringing your kids to this point. You raised them right. There's no doubt about it. I thought I'd take just a couple minutes, tell you a couple of the things that I think that I've learned that may be helpful to you as you start the journey that I started 47 years ago, unbelievably. First thing I tell you is it goes fast, so enjoy every day. Trust what you learned here at Duquesne Law School. It's a very fine law school. It cares deeply. Martin does a wonderful job, as does all your faculty. And you'll find some older lawyers, because it's an adversary profession, who will want to intimidate you or trick you, and don't let them. Be confident in what you know. How many burdens of proof are there? You don't have to answer. There are 3. There are only 3. There's fair preponderance of the evidence, clear and convincing for special kinds of actions, and beyond a reasonable doubt, which everybody knows from every TV show. That's all there is. So somebody comes in and is arguing in motions court for a 4th burden of proof, that's nonsense. And you can have confidence that's nonsense. And you can stand up and you can tell that. There are 3 kinds of property in the world. There's real property, tangible, personal, and intangible personal. There's no other kinds of property. There's 3 kinds of deeds. I could go on and on and on and on. The elements of the crime are the elements of the crime. The elements of the tort are the elements of the tort. You've learned those all. So be confident in your knowledge. Be quietly confident. Don't be jerks. It's not a TV show. But be confident in what you know, okay? Probably more sobering, recognize what you don't know. And you know more than I do on some of those technical elements that constitute the tort or the crime or the like. Because you're never sharper at those until you get out of law school. But there's so much in the practice of law that's not written down. That's idiosyncratic to the jurisdiction where you're going to practice in or the field that you're going to practice in. If you can possibly do it in this world, and I've thought long and hard about this, go someplace where you're surrounded by more experienced lawyers. Go to a public defender's office, a DA's office, Neighborhood Legal Services Association, and on and on and on. Obviously, go to a firm, even a small firm, that has 2 or 3 people that you can ask questions. And then ask. You'll find new judges. New judges, and will be at new judges school in January. We're electing them today, and we're electing 9 in Allegheny County. They will walk to their colleagues with more experience 5 times, 7 times in a week, maybe more than that in a week if they begin hearing cases. And then after a period of months, they don't have to do that anymore because they get up to speed. The same thing's true with new lawyers. So get advice. Now, my more sobering, and I want only to be positive advice, is I would not hang a shingle. This is just not 1850 and you are not Abe Lincoln. The law is so complicated. Our jurisdiction is so complicated that I would try to affiliate with somebody or somehow. If you have to hang a shingle, my advice is go into a building with lots of lawyers and knock on doors and introduce yourself. And then make them your partners. You can go over and ask them questions anytime you want. They will welcome you. They were in your shoes. For them, it doesn't seem like all that long ago. And the other thing is pick a specialty. Now pick a specialty you like, but don't, again, try to be a general practitioner. You want to do environmental law, it's a great field. I have a very good friend who's a lawyer here in Pittsburgh, and he wanted to be a labor lawyer, and he couldn't get a job, and he had parents who were supportive, and he volunteered as the biggest labor lawyer in Pittsburgh for a year and learned the craft. And his deal with that lawyer is he would not try to take any of his clients. He's a very reputable person. He would never take those clients. Today, he's the biggest labor lawyer in Pittsburgh on the labor side. So he wanted to do that. He was impassioned to do that. He enjoyed it, and he got started that way. So pick a field and then start reading and listening and talking. Get active in a bar association, and you'll get up to speed at an amazing quickly. You'd be surprised, but that was me. I had a very specialized legal practice. It doesn't matter. But nobody in my firm did domestic relations, and we didn't want to lose the big clients to a boutique law firm. So I said, I can do some of that. How hard can it be? And I started reading and learning. And this is back when it was really getting going. The divorce code in Pennsylvania passed in 1968, if I remember correctly. Again, I can go back that far. So I started doing it. So I get elected to the judge, and Tony Weddick is the administrative judge of family division, and he says to the president judge, I want Bear. He said he's always come into my court, and he always is prepared and smart. And I said, but Judge Weddick, I don't know anything about family law. He said, you'll learn, I'll teach you. And he and Gene Strausberger and Larry Kaplan did. So I did the same thing I'm saying to you. I started reading until midnight every night, and at 7 in the morning again. And I started asking questions to everybody. And I got up to speed relatively quickly. And I got to the point in about 4 or 5 years that I knew more family law than anybody in Pennsylvania. So you can do it. You just have to go do it. And the other thing I would say to you is, most importantly, is be happy. When you get up out of bed, you're unhappy, you've got to change direction. Not, after a long life, nothing matters more than that. Follow your passion. Some of you will not practice law. Some of you will begin practicing law and drift into different areas. And that's just fine too. If you follow your passion and you love what you're doing, which is true of Justice Donegal and I, in this capitalist society, this may seem insane, but I'm in my 34th year. 30 years on the bench and 4 years that I worked for Pennsylvania before. My salary and my pension are identical. I got a call from the pension people about 2 years ago. Justice Baird, you're working for about $600 a year. And you're pretty quickly going to get to the point where you're working for nothing or you're negative. And there's a reason for that. I don't care. I like it. I enjoy it. And I will retire next December 31st because the Constitution made me. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing because I think you all should have a chance, and the people that are trial judges should have a chance to move up. But it's not a good thing for me. I'm like you now. I'm exploring what I want to do next. I thought about driving for Uber. I like people. I thought of being a short order cook at the Waffle House because it's my favorite restaurant. My wife says I last about 7 minutes because they have to stand up for more than an hour. But be happy and enjoy what you're doing, or else change the way you're doing it. My hope for you is that you'll look back 25 years from now, and it will go very fast, 40, 45 years from now, and you will have a wonderfully fulfilling career. You will love what you're doing. You will feel good about where your life was. And I wish you the very best as you take really the last step on the first part of your journey, but more importantly, the very first step on your life's journey. Congratulations again. Justice Christine Donahue, a great colleague and a great friend and a great graduate of Duquesne.
Good morning. I always like to have Chief Justice Bear go first because he covers all the high spots. And I want to congratulate you also and your parents and family and husbands, wives, partners, kids, grandparents. This is a huge day. I'm a Duquesne Law alum, and I'm also now a justice of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. In between, I was a partner in a small law firm, and then I was a partner in a large law firm, and I served on the Superior Court, and then I was sworn into the Supreme Court. I tell you this sincerely. The most important day of my life was the day that I was sworn in as a lawyer before the bar of the courts of Pennsylvania. And let me tell you why. I happen to believe, as I sit here today, that the legal profession is far and away the most noble profession that you could ever aspire to or be lucky enough to be a member of. The ethical base of the practice of law is its driving force. And if there's one thing that I want you to remember from what I say today, don't ever forget that. Because whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever your conduct is, you're going to be reflecting on the profession of being a lawyer, and you're going to be reflecting on the bar of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Your calling could not be higher, whether or not you practice law, whether you practice law in a big firm or a small firm, or you ultimately decide that there's something else that you want to do with your life. Every single step of the way, you're going to take this profession with you. Don't embarrass it. Embrace it. It truly is such an honor, and I know that this might sound corny or, oh, that can't be true because here you are in the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. I tell you sincerely that the day that I will always remember in my life is the day that I was sworn in as lawyer before the bar of Pennsylvania. And so I hope you carried that with you. You know, Duquesne has a really tremendous tradition. I don't know if you quite appreciate this, how special you are, because you have just been sworn in as a lawyer in Pennsylvania by the Chief Justice of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. Now think about that for a moment. You are the only lawyers in Pennsylvania who are being sworn in as a lawyer before the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, the highest court in the Commonwealth, and the court that oversees all lawyers in Pennsylvania. It's a big deal. It truly is a big deal. And there will only be one more group of Duquesne lawyers who will be sworn in by the Chief Justice, and that will be next year. So you should consider yourself in a very elite group of lawyers in this Commonwealth. We're here because of what Duquesne did for us, and it's a lot. If you're going to practice in Pennsylvania, and particularly in Pittsburgh, there isn't going to be a lawyer who graduated from Duquesne University School of Law who will not reach out and help you if you need help. And that is truly the case. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're practicing, Duquesne Law alum are a tight group. There was a time when Duquesne lawyers all came from the same socioeconomic background. That's no longer the case. I mean, there are probably many of you who came to law school as I did, with student loans from undergraduate, and then you borrowed money to go to law school, and you'll be paying it off as I did until I was about 42 years old. It doesn't kill you. It really doesn't. And there's no money better spent if that's the situation you find yourself in. Many of you come from working class families. Many of you come from professional families. You all have one thing in common. You have the best foundation possible to be a strong, ethical, practicing lawyer or member of any business community that you might enter, and that's because of Duquesne University School of Law. And you could give back to Duquesne when you're out in the world, come back, be part of the Alumni Association, but you're taking with you a training that is really incomparable, in my opinion. And from where we sit, we see lawyers from every law school, not only in Pennsylvania, but the East Coast. You people who are coming from Duquesne have very much to be grateful for. You've been trained to be leaders, and you should be leaders. That's your job when you go out there, not only to the Duquesne, but to the profession. And because of the education that you've gotten at Duquesne, you're prepared to do anything. And you should never forget that. You should never forget that. You could do whatever it is that you set your mind to doing. Be happy when you're doing it. If there comes a time in your career when you think it might be time for a change, don't hesitate. Give it some thought. You're prepared to do anything that makes you happy with your life and your profession. And I just want to say again what Chief Justice Behr said to you. We wish you the best. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very proud of you. I truly am very proud of you. And I'm glad that you chose to come here today to be sworn in, because it's a very special jumping point for the profession that you're entering. So congratulations to you, and congratulations to your family.
Thank you, Chief Justice Behr and Justice Donahue, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. But we will adjourn shortly. We'll get a nice photo of all of you with the justices. After that, we will, the justices will sign page 3 for anybody who needs it. If somebody needs part 2 signed, please see me. And then we'll adjourn downstairs afterward for a light refreshment reception in the lower lounge. So, all rise, please. And this court is adjourned. Thank you all very much.